Today's video is the latest in an ongoing series which has come about pretty much by accident. We'll see a series of video clips of people who've either recorded themselves or have consented to be recorded and have the footage put on the internet, where the mission seems to have been, look at how ghastly I can be. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is People Being Awful Part 4. And we'll begin with a video which is a reaction video. A reaction to the statement, men don't like loud women.
Men don't like loud women.
Women don't even like men! And guess what? Bubblegum in a dish. Half these men have shrimp dicks. I'm not worried about it, bitch.
Personally, I found that statement very profound. Bubblegum, incoherent rambling, shrimp dicks. I know what I'll get for my next tattoo, and I expect next time NASA send a probe off into the cosmos, those are the words that will be etched onto the outer casing. I think that woman falls into the category of mentally unstable and easy to fuck. Let's imagine a scenario. No matter who you are, imagine you're a single heterosexual man on a night out, and that woman has taken you back to her apartment. Before you do the deed, though, you say, I just need to use the bathroom. And as you enter the bathroom, you see written, God, why haven't you fixed me yet, on the bathroom mirror written in blood. You now know two things. First of all, once this night is over, you will never contact this woman again. Secondly, you're in for the best shag of your life. For any younger men watching, a word of advice if you're looking for a long-term female partner. Imagine a very simple graph. On this axis is how dirty she is in bed, and on this axis, that's how mad she is. And the line on this graph runs straight up at a 45-degree angle. The dirty ones are always mental. You've got to pick where you're comfortable on that scale. So we've seen a very loud woman. Next we'll see a very quiet woman. Although if you look very, very closely, in minute detail, you may be able to tell this isn't a biological woman. It's a man dressed as a woman. Shocking, I know. I'm assuming that's the first time he's worn high heels, something I'm not familiar with. Because he's walking around with his arms out for balance. Mate, you're not performing on a fucking tightrope in the circus, yet he stands there as if he's waiting for a Hungarian acrobat to land on his shoulders. He's not convincing as a woman. In my opinion, he just looks like a cross-dressing weirdo whose children no longer speak to him. So we've seen a loud woman and a man pretending to be a woman. Next up, let's see a man who identifies as a woman and a woman who identifies as a man.
You're all looking for. It's getting canceled today because they said some controversial stuff. I'll tell you what it was. What was it?
I said that intentional weight loss is not a body positive act.
And he's right. It's not a body positive act. Body positivity got really white and thin washed, and that's a conversation for another day, but just here to tell you the pursuit of intentional weight loss is not aligned with that liberation, which is the radical version of body positivity you're all looking for. Thoughts?
So true.
So, the DNA male there, I think his name is James. I've done videos on him in the past. And he's one of the trans women who enjoys going into female-only spaces like changing rooms and toilets and saying, don't worry, I'm a woman. One of those types. Although I have to say, or rather I have to ask, ladies, does he come across as threatening to you? Because I imagine if you told him his hair wasn't perfect, he'd break down crying. As for the thing which was driving the vehicle, using he, him pronouns, maybe I'll go with that because I don't know the correct pronouns for what appears to be a zeppelin that's become sentient. The body positivity thing, the idea that intentional weight loss is somehow fat-phobic. A phobia is an irrational fear. There's nothing irrational about not wanting to die at 35. But for that woman who thinks she's a man, who's convinced herself that being morbidly obese doesn't have health consequences, there's a clue in the name, morbidly obese. So, for it came from the centre of the earth, She can convince herself that she doesn't have a problem. It's the rest of society that needs to change. So let's run with the idea that big is beautiful.
Have no fear, because Catwoman is here.
In the past, Catwoman has been played by many talented actresses, including Anne Hathaway, Halle Berry, and Michelle Pfeiffer. What the fuck was that thing we just saw? And whoever owns that Harley, mate, you need to order some spare parts. Those shock absorbers will be shot. I'm guessing the back wheel is buckled, and if she attempts to actually ride the thing, I give it 100 yards before the clutch gives out. And what's she wearing? Is that a cat suit? Because to me, it looks like someone has shrink-wrapped her in some black bin liners. And I know there are some men who will find that attractive. Yet, if I was single, I wouldn't want to be in the position where, if I took a woman back to my house, before I took her to the bedroom, I'd think I'd best get a builder in to check the structural integrity of the staircase. Or find myself thinking, that lass isn't going to fit through the front door, I'd best take a window out. Life for Gotham's supervillains just got a lot easier, given that now, in order to evade Catwoman, all they have to do is break into a very gentle jog. Or saving that, just walk down the street with several takeaways and wait for her to get distracted. There's one clip left, and it wouldn't be a video about people being awful without an appearance from an attention-seeking, non-binary they-them.
I describe my gender as handsome girl, pretty boy. Now, if you were to spell it like this, it is girl. It's not girl, it's girl. There's a difference. It's not boy, it's boy. Not boy, boy. There is a difference. I'm a handsome girl, pretty boy.
Septum piercing, greasy skin, shit haircut. The hallmarks of the non-binary. Now, something I love about Generation Z, or Gen Z if you're watching in the new world, is the way that so many of them think they invented everything. Like spelling girl, G-U-R-L, or boy, B-O-I. Because what she's done, because she's a woman, whether she likes it or not, she's accidentally allied herself to the skate rock and new metal movements from the 1990s to the early 2000s. It was around 1994 when Korn released their debut album. And Korn was spelt with a K because in new metal, that was a thing. Incorrect spelling. Limp Bizkit spelt biscuit B-I-Z-K-I-T. And spelling boy, B-O-I, that's how it appears on Avril Lavigne's single, Skater Boy. Now, shockingly, that record is 22 years old. Even more amazing than that, though, is in those 22 years, Avril Lavigne appears to have aged about 3 months. I'm assuming she's danced in the blue flame and now she's immortal. That's a very obscure reference to an Ursula Andress film called She. Thus, our non-binary friend isn't doing anything new or inventive. Either she's trying to convince people that she's illiterate, or, and I suspect this is the case, as it often is among all things non-binary, it's a desperate attempt to appear interesting. The single Skater Boy, the opening lines are, "He was a boy, she was a girl, can I make it any more obvious?" In 2024, that record would get pulled for being hate speech. That's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. Click the notification bell, and as ever, thanks for watching. I found that statement quite profound. Bubblegum, fuck it. Bubblegum, incoherent rambling, shrimp dicks. Fuck it. Bollocks to... Nah. So, a word of advice for any younger men watching. If you're looking for a long-term female... I'll fucking just start it again, though. Barry. Oh, what's her fucking name? Anne Hathaway. Halle Berry and Michelle... Oh, bollocks to it. I know that some men are into that. Some men aren't... If you see a man with a really, really overweight woman, if he isn't overweight himself, they're always these tiny rat-faced fuckers with a little tash, a baseball cap and a checked shirt. Why is that? I've finished recording and now the sun's come out.